Hi everyone. Today I'm going to tell you 3 easy things, and I'll explain why they're easy. 3 easy ways to change your life forever that I've been seeing results from in my own life. But first and foremost, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Christian. I go by Morning Coffee, spelled Mourning, because here we talk about all the trauma and we alchemize our pain into something beautiful, whether it be music, poetry, or a morning talk such as this. Now, just to get straight to the point immediately, I got my little cat here with me. The first most important point is to choose to change the story that we tell ourselves. Now, that could be, oh my God, she was the one and she doesn't love me. She doesn't return my love. There must be something wrong with me. That's a story that we're telling ourselves. Or, oh, this job rejected me, so I must not be good enough, or that must not. Like, the thing about our lives, right, is that we spend so much of our time choosing to believe just because we are met with resistance in certain areas and that certain things don't really work out in our favor, that because of that, there's something wrong with us. Because of that, there's, we're not meant to live the lives that we want to. The problem with that is that we're not necessarily looking at it the right way, in my personal belief. Because, you know, choosing to believe because you fail that you're not meant to win is such a limiting belief. And I was just with my father today. He's one who thinks that way, even though he has a very practical way of looking at things, and it's very easy, and this is for most of us too, it's very easy for him to look at other people's lives and circumstances and be able to figure that out. But for himself, he keeps perpetuating the same behavior because he believes the story of, I'm not worthy enough for love, so I need to work for it. And if love doesn't look the way that I want it to, then that means that it's not meant for me. Instead of looking at it as a new opportunity, you know? Which bleeds into my second point. My second point is essentially to, how do I put this the right way? Let's start looking at our failures as opportunities for growth. How about that? Point number 2 is to start looking at our failures as opportunities for growth. Because so much tragedy, we're children of tragedy, right? People, like, I've lost my mom. Lost my mom in 2006 when I was 15 years old. And because it was so devastating and such a hefty change, I decided to end my life. I know that's pretty heavy, and I apologize for, you know, just diving right into it. But the beautiful thing about surviving that attempt and living with the loss of my mom is that it really made me appreciate life. It really made me appreciate how fragile things are. And that we don't have time to waste. Like, we really need to invest in ourselves. We really need to start to believe in ourselves, even if we don't believe in ourselves, right? Like, because my self-worth is still a weird thing that I'm in, right? Like, I still struggle with self-worth. I still struggle with whether or not I'm good enough. But certain days, it just comes easier. And that's the thing about life. Some days will be easier. Some days will be harder. And the idea is to not really, truly let yourself believe the voice in our head. Because the thing is, too, is that these stories that we tell ourselves, they're not really fully our story. Some might be from learned experience, but most of it, it's just stuff that was handed down to us. Trauma, family trauma, trauma with old lovers, just people that made us think and believe things about ourselves that just simply isn't true. And it's good to grow from our mistakes and the things that are true, that are negative. But for the most part, most of us tell ourselves things about ourselves that limit us. That's why you're not living the life that you want to live. And that's why for so long, I wasn't either. I was so miserable. I had all these people around me that I had to struggle for their love, their friendship, and there was just so much of me. I wasn't putting myself in those relationships the right way. Because I still had my walls up. I still had my beliefs about myself. I still had all this nonsense that locked me into just a very limited version of myself. So the third and final one, which I did say the first one is the most important. I would say it's the most important to start with. But this is the most important for permanent and true growth. Number 3 is to forgive yourself. It's so easy to forgive others, especially the ones that we love. But it's really, really hard to forgive ourselves for our mistakes. First of all, we have to be honest with ourselves that we made mistakes, that we hurt people in this life, that we tried our best and it didn't work out, or whatever it is. We need to forgive ourselves for all these things and stop being so hard on ourselves. I know my inner self-critic is very, very harsh. And now I've learned to, through other things like active imagination and other stuff like that, which I'll talk about in another video, I've learned to greet these different aspects of me, my anxiety, my fear, that inner critic, as separate entities coming to greet me out of their own concern. And I greet them and welcome them in and almost have like this weird active dialogue with them. You know, just to let them know, you know, I'm glad that you're worrying about me, but you don't need to worry about me. You know, we have nothing to worry about. Everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. And, you know, it's kind of talking to yourself in a way, because that's what it is. We're talking to different aspects of ourselves. But we really need to forgive ourselves. We need to accept that we've done wrong. We need to accept that we've made mistakes, and we need to own those mistakes. And the best way to do that is to forgive yourself. So let's choose to tell ourselves a better story, whether you believe it or not. Tell ourselves a better story. Start to redefine the way that we talk to ourselves. Start to learn from our mistakes. Choose to view our mistakes and our tragedies as lessons to be learned from. So they're now opportunities. They're not tragedies, they're opportunities. And finally, 3, forgive yourself. So I hope this video has helped to transform your life. Sound off in the comments, because I'd love to hear, you know, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, you know, come back to this video. Tell me how this is working for you and how you're able to kind of keep up the consistency of this new change, because it will change your life forever, as it is changing my life for me. I'm watching it happen right now. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a good day.